We don't switch into German at one point, which could happen very easily.
It's true. Okay. So, hi everyone, welcome to the Flowly podcast with a new exciting guest today, Plamen Katarov, joining us.
Hi everyone. Hi. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's fantastic opportunity to try out the meeting in person sort of thing. I have the privilege to be geographically near Plamen, so we're meeting today for the Flowly podcast live in person, and I'm gonna jump in and quickly introduce you because I can't wait to to go into the conversation with you. So Plamen has a 20 plus years of experience as a C-level executive in the travel and hospitality industry. Is an immensely creative person, also very artistic, very academic, if I might say so, from our acquaintance of each other. And I'm extremely honored and privileged to talk with you about flow today and how flow feels and manifests in your life.
Thanks, thanks for the invitation, and I'm really curious to see what comes up next.
Yeah, we go with the flow, and I jump in with asking you, how does flow manifest for you? So when we talk about flow, we talk about not just peak performance, but also about the quality of experience, which is so sublime. You're doing that one thing, it might be work, it might be a hobby, or something that really draws your attention in, you dive straight into it. And yeah, where does this happen for you, Plamen?
Well, it's a very interesting question, because basically this is something that you don't experience every day. If you work for so many years, let's say, in one industry, it's very important to see the small picture, the big picture, the small details, the big details, to make connections, to see the entire chain of everything what is happening around you. And the flow for me is something which comes in a natural way. It just snaps, it makes a click, and of course it depends on the task, it depends on the situation, it depends on many circumstances. To me, one of the most important things in my job, in my professional way, has always been, is, and will be things to happen in a natural way, and to really have the time and to have the chance to make the best out of even the smallest opportunity, of the smallest chance. I'm a person that likes to be creative, innovative. I mean, this is what is driving me forward, and my motivation has always been the competition. I need competition, I need, in order to be productive, in order to succeed and to advance, I just need competitiveness, let's put it this way. I like to have, challenges. I don't mind the bumpy roads. I really enjoy ambiguity. I enjoy new ideas and new possibilities. And this is where sometimes you get into this flow. Right. And you sometimes even don't think about it. That you're in the flow. You realize it probably afterwards.
Can you recall such a situation that you experienced? Many. Actually, sometimes working on a new idea, working on a new development or a new product,
You try to see the perspective from different angles, from your perspective, from the perspective of the customers, which is the most important, from the perspective of the stakeholders, eventually of the shareholders. You're trying to create this win-win-win situation, and you're trying to think of what you should do in order to create a great product, great value, which is going to be a great asset to everybody that is involved in this process. And while digging deeper and deeper and thinking about all the details and going along the entire process of creating this product, very often you just need to be by yourself, and you need to switch off and let go from, let's say, the normal, busy, everyday time schedule. And sometimes this could mean that you need to go somewhere out, you need to go in the mountains, or you need to go at the sea, and to be by yourself, and you need your time, and very often you don't know whether you're going to need 1 hour, 2 hours, 1 day or 2 days, until what you have visualized initially is turning into a material thing that you can feel and you can touch. And these are the moments where basically you're trying to give a birth to this idea, and then when you're ready inside you, when you're ready with this one, the next step is to go and to present it to your colleagues, present it to your clients, and then to sell it in the best possible way. And this is where you need to make people around you enthusiastic. This is where you need to inspire people. I'm thinking about different occasions, different cases that I had, and probably one of the things that has been for me something very pleasant and something very interesting to do is to find an issue, to find a problem, or to find a shortcut somewhere, and then to think of a possible solution, and to think of a something which would end up in a great product, great experience, which has a great potential or a great value. Now, speaking about my industry, hospitality, travel, leisure, tourism, you name it, it's very important to create a great experience.
Exactly.
It's important to deliver a great product, a great service. And very often you have things that are very advanced, very let's say new, and very often you have things that haven't changed for the last 20-30 years. So it's a big sphere, it's a big area where you can work on this. And since this is connected with experience, with emotions, with human interacting, it's really a big field. Really a big field. Whether you create a hotel concept which is going to lead not only to a great turnover, but also is going to create happy customers and will produce repeaters. Or if you are offering, let's say, something like experiences connected with excursions, with travel, with packages, to create something which is outstanding and which has a USP, which is going to be then your trademark, which is going to upscale you, which will make the difference between you and your competitors. So I don't want to go into a detail. Right now I'm working on a project currently. I'm very much into technologies. I'm interested about technologies. I'm also very interested about leadership, how to lead people, how to lead change management, how to motivate people, and this is something that is really evolving and developing every day. especially now after the latest developments that we had 2 years after COVID, where the tourism and the leisure industry almost came to a stop.
Yeah.
Now we have new trends, new demands, which we will have to meet and which will have basically to follow very, very close.
I see. So you've got a new set of challenges. From what I heard, now you have it is something that can be a trigger for building up for development. Because from now, like from your beautiful description of both the experience, its contextualization into product development, into experience development, into your industry, I got this. You've got the timelessness, you've got the being in the zone moment. You don't know how many hours are gonna pass. You need to give birth to the idea. You need to share it with people the way we're sharing now, in a sense, and to also then through this process of creation to live up to the challenges that are presented to you. So what is a new incentive for you now? Because I feel like new challenges can really shake up people with such an expertise and such a long-standing position in their industries, in their fields. It can be like a new creative challenge. How does that impact you? Like, is it provoking thought or innovation?
You know, there is a Japanese term which I like very much. It's called mono no aware.
Okay.
This is the mono no aware. This is the bittersweet awareness of impermanence.
Oh, okay, beautiful.
You know, sometimes we tend to be nostalgic, we tend to be melancholic, and sometimes we think back 20, 10, 15, 30 years back, how things were. It's, of course, times are changing, everything changes, everything flows, and we cannot be the same. We as persons, business, nothing can be the same as it has been a while ago. But this, for me, is also a checkpoint, a base from where you start, basically, and from where you can combine, let's say, this nostalgia, this mono no aware moment, with the near future and with your ideas and with your plans.
Brilliant.
I'm coming back to, I think I said it before, a lot of people are focusing on the problems, on the issues, on, let's say, the limitations, whereas I think we should more focus on the possibilities, on the potential, and basically to strive and to aim to achieve them. Regardless of the obstacles, regardless of the issues, regardless of the bumpy roads. And this is something that you either learn over the years, or this is something that you had already experienced with it. And maybe this is the right time for me to share with you one of my experiences, which basically this is the first time I'm going to share this in public. But to understand my point, because it sounds like a cliche, don't give up. Fight, you're as big as your dreams.
This motivational talk that we see on walls in offices.
For a lot of people, yes, this is a cliche. For me, this is not a cliche because I went through this myself. So the story, just to keep it short, when I was a kid, 9 years old, I had a severe illness, which is called meningitis, which basically is the inflammation of the fluid and membranes around your brain and around your spinal. Yes, which is dangerous, can have long-term damages, etc., etc. So I was happy to survive because of good doctors, but I had a long stay in the hospital, almost like a month, like 27, 28 days. But this was basically a period where I was alone in the room, and the room was basically on the ground floor, was facing the park side with nice trees. And at night, when it became dark, it got really scary outside.
Okay.
So, as a kid, you can imagine you have all these fantasies about monsters, about this and that. So I remember to put the blanket over my head, you know.
Yeah.
But this period in the hospital, this stay, and then afterwards, I think was a breaking point for me, where my character was built and my strength, basically, because afterwards I had to be on a special, let's say, treatment regime. So most probably it was possible as well that I won't recover fully, so I had to learn again to read, you know, again to do simple things like how much is 2 + 2 and all this stuff. And previously it took me, I started to read books when I was 5 years old, and before it took me probably like 30 seconds for a page. Afterwards it took me 30 minutes to read the page and to read it over and over again to understand. To make connections. But this is why I'm saying this. This was the point where I said to myself, okay, I want my life back. I want to play with my kids, with my classmates. I want my life back. I want to go out on the street, play football. I want to grow up normal again. And this is where you start, you know, to realize that it depends also on you, on your character, on inner strength, on your thought. And that is why I said, to me, this is not a cliche, because I went through this entire process, not only successfully, I fully recovered. I graduated successfully, school, university, I had a nice professional career. But I'm also saying this because in life, very often we depend on others and the chances we are granted. Because after this illness, I had the choice to go to a special school for a while, or not to go to school at all for like a year. And we decided with my parents to go back to school after 2.5 months. And then the teachers, my classmates, gave me the time off to again, you know, get used to the normal school day, to the normal school life, you know, and then, you know, step by step to go back to my, you know, normal life as it was. And I had a second chance to get a timeout, a break, like in basketball. This was with 12. I moved with my parents to Germany, and moving to Germany, I knew like 3-4 words like Guten Tag, Auf Wiedersehen, Dankeschön, Bitte, because I visited some private lessons here. So arriving in Germany, I realized I was in Germany. So I had the chance, you know, to visit the Bulgarian school or to visit a normal, regular German school. We decided to go to a German regular school, so I was given a chance, you know, for 3 months, no exams, no nothing. I was just sitting in the classroom and just listening, learning, and in a natural way, automatically, I started to speak German. And very often afterwards, I could understand, could speak in German, but could not translate it in Bulgarian. And why I'm saying this, it's really, it depends a lot of the strength of your mind, depends on your inner power, on your thoughts, and very often also depends on the chances that you're given, because sometimes it doesn't cost a lot. It's nothing to help someone, to support him, and you can change his life. And sometimes it takes a little to destroy someone's life. And this lesson and these things, these experiences, today also I'm really trying to support, to help friends, colleagues, teammates, you know, because I know how important it is to listen and to do all these things. These things do matter. So I think we got away from the main topic and from the main question.
No, we're not, because it's actually, you know, probably in the podcast is about that. It's we were talking yesterday with Pete, my colleague with whom we did a podcast, about the one person, like to no matter, you know, nowadays we're so primed to look at numbers and oh, we have to have like likes and subscriptions and like comments or whatnot in social media, but then there is, and this leads to the dissatisfaction of it's never enough, right? And then at the same time there is this very important thought he quoted that it is in our meeting and like sharing this with whoever needs to hear that, that there will be one person who really needs to hear that right now. And for whom, and we have no control over this. And this is the beauty of it. This is this is where I see your tale of endurance of working. It's like I saw a beautiful and very insightful diagram of flow, and it was like, you know, you have a circle of discipline and a circle of surrender, and at their intersection was flow.
Exactly. Basically, now when you talking about this, probably the first time I experienced flow was during my hospital stay, because I started basically back then, because I wanted to get away from the treatment hospital, the scary trees and the scary park outside, and I started to imagine myself that I'm somewhere else. That I'm somewhere else on a nice place, playing with my friends, you know. So basically, I put myself in a different reality. And I think this was the first time when I unconsciously started to do this flow. So sometimes even today, when I have a task or when I have an idea which I really like, I like to put myself somewhere in a place mentally, if not possible physically, mentally, to put myself in a different place. Just to imagine myself, me, my new idea, and then on the other hand, if this idea happens, what is then the way to make this idea alive? Very often I'm doing this, and this is very helpful, because then you sit by your own and you can be very productive, and you can be very, very efficient as well.
So you open up a space in which you enter, and you stay with your idea.
You close your eyes for all the surrounding. You know, it's difficult to do it because nowadays, you know, you see everything is so fast. Everything is really
many distractions.
It's difficult to find this. It's a nice word, life-work balance. It's very difficult, but if you don't do it, you will not be productive, you will not be effective, and you will have issues at work, and you will have issues at home. So you have to somehow to find the balance. So it's a kind of experience, kind of habit, kind of a skill, you know, it's a mix. You know, to achieve this is not easy. But once you achieve it, then everything changes. Everything changes. And then the other good thing is that you sound more credible. And then when you present your new idea, or you talk about one innovation, then you can ignite the spark in the audience, within your colleagues. You can just present it in a different way, because people can see when you're honest. To me, leadership, some friends of mine, we had a meeting yesterday, and we did some brainstorming about leadership, motivation, and they asked, okay, Plamen, what are leaders, true leaders to you? To me, leaders are natural born winners. They are like this, they're authentic. They have to be authentic. And people either trust and follow them on a natural way, or they don't. And a leader is somebody who basically really can enlighten, inspire, but only if he's authentic. Otherwise, just the job description, just the role, the position, this is just a word, nothing else.
This is also what I was thinking, you know, like with flow, I hear so many people saying, yeah, you know, just switch off your phone and, you know, then it's gonna be fine, as if like the objective description of what to do is like this, but no, flow is just something so much deeper. And when you say this, we all see the almost like a light emanating from the person who has an idea, who is birthing it, who is sharing the real communion of communication, of co-creation.
Yes. So this is where they grab you. This is where they get your attention.
Yeah, but it's not surface level. It's like here. It's a deep process, and for me, it's so beautiful to hear about where your flow emanated from. You know, where the heart of it was, where the spark came, where you came into awareness that. This whole new world of perception and possibilities of involvement are open. So it's staying in my mind. You know, also what you said about tackling challenges, because I've encountered this amazing book called what was it called? It's about emerging strategies.
Mm-hmm.
So and I really connect a book like this with people like you.
I like this one.
Yeah, oh my God, I love it, and it's just so it's the mindset that is connected to not being I'm so sad about what is happening or resisting what is happening, and like the developments, and the world is changing always. We have the word flow to signify the change very often. But to also how we flow with it, because it doesn't make sense to be like, okay, now, no, I don't like this. This is not gonna, this world, this development is not gonna cut it for me. But no, you just open up and go with it. You focus your mind with your discipline, with your understanding, with your enthusiasm and insightfulness, and you go with it.
You know, it's very true what you're saying. Reality looks a little bit different though, especially in big companies. In big companies, corporate structures.
Yes,
there is a different environment, there is a different climate. Things are not happening bottom up. Of course, there are different companies and different businesses, but in many cases you have a frame, and you cannot move with it outside of this frame, which already means that you have certain limits. Of course, it has pros and cons. It depends, but to me, there are occasions and cases where you have to let people do, and you have to let people speak up, and you have to let people be creative and talk about it.
Yeah.
And you have to be open with them, you have to listen to them, and you have to exchange thoughts and minds. Something that I learned during my stay in the States, and this was a great experience when I started I think it was my third job in the States. In the company, it was basically the way the management was basically communicating, engaging and bonding with staff, with employees. You couldn't tell who is the manager, who is the leader, who is, you couldn't tell. And we had a sign, the relationship is everything.
Yeah.
And this for me was a new experience, coming over from Europe, from
hierarchical structures.
Yes, and here it was, and one day there was a guy sitting next to me with a t-shirt, with jeans, and I asked my colleague, who is this? Well, this is the owner of the company. And he was sitting with us having coffee, and he was laughing with us, making jokes. And in such environment, in such atmosphere, you are enthusiastic, you're motivated, you really feel, like, okay, yes, you have the KPIs, you have the targets, you have to have. But if you're motivated, you feel engaged, you feel bonded. And this is something that I took back when I got back to Europe, and tried to implement always, regardless of the business, the company I was, the position I had, to always, have this open relationships and, this approach with my colleagues. And my experience showed me that it was successful always.
I mean, there is from a systemic point of view, each organism or system has a level of organization, and like it makes total sense that big corporations which have to coordinate, like orchestrate the actions of so many components, of so many people and subdivisions, are more like this inertia sort of thing, that they're slower in change, in terms of change. They're more rigid structures. But what you talk about is really inspiring, because when there is softness of permeability and communication between the different segments of the structure, information, not just information, but also like this trust that you describe, flows. And then we keep talking about agile today. We keep talking about being agile, and everyone wants to be agile, but like it's more it's a real challenge to open up to that. If you're a corporate structure, like the smaller the team, the more, maybe like structurally speaking, more easier, the more prerequisites for this to happen. But at the same time, I feel it's so important what you describe, because it enables this. It's adaptability. It's like there is a change, we change with that. We choose how much to change. Like in improvisation research, it's never about starting like completely different and having absolutely no connection neither to your customers nor to your previous business model. Innovation is not like to cut the piece and just throw it away, but it's like to evolve it, to co-evolve with what's happening.
You know, agility, it's a nice word. It became lately a corporate word.
Yeah, that's the exciting part.
You know, it's sometimes you feel what's the right thing to do. And of course, when you're in a structure, you cannot change. Depending on the position you hold, you cannot change many things, but you can do your best to change what depends on you, and what your what sits within your responsibility, with your team, within your division. And you have though to look for the science, not only yours. You have also to look from the science from the others. And I'll tell you what I mean by this. 5 years ago, I was about to go to work, and I realized that I was standing on the doorstep like 2-3 minutes, and I didn't want to go out. And this is when I realized that something happened, and I no longer enjoyed my job. I no longer enjoyed what I was doing. And this is when I started to ask myself questions. What am I doing? Is this the right job? Is this the right company? Is this and then you start, these questions, and such science, basically, you also have to look at your colleagues, because the best thing is if you go to work, if you enjoy going to work, and if you enjoy staying at work, this is the best corporate environment you can create within a company, when people enjoy going to work and people enjoy staying. Okay, nowadays they don't stay so much in the office, but enjoy what they're doing.
Yeah, instead of the Monday blues,
to create this, I think that's a blessing for every company.
Yeah. This is precisely. You said so many things already, which are precisely at the heart of Flowably, and like the project that I'm doing, connected to flow and wellness, also within the context of work, within the context of our lives, because this sort of compulsion that we feel, I mean, when I just think of it, how much suffering there is out there of, the normal people, the ordinary, like good people, good citizen people going to work, building their career, taking care of their families, and so much suffering, like just thinking about Monday blues, like you go, you don't wanna go to work, and I'm contrasting this with the, of course, like bumpy, dynamic road of an academic, of an entrepreneur. You've got ups and downs and so, but like you burn with passion, and there is this commitment of creation in a sense that on the one side you don't have the security, so you're more like, oh my god, what's going on, and you're really like surfing on the process. On the other hand, it's like your passion is at the heart of what you do. But then I was like just talking with so many people and noting this, you know, where's the spark, where's the light, where's the yeah, sure, we all need to be productive to meet some objectives, to contribute to our companies, to our mission, but at the same time, it does, to me, that's not separate. I mean, you can find pleasure and meaning in this creation. This is where flow comes for me at the heart of this process. Just not just to relieve, to like get a coffee, or like you know, we also have productivity drugs which people take worldwide to improve their productivity. No, it's not about forcing yourself or about dimming your pain, but about coming out on the side where you can really immerse yourself and love this moment.
Listen, it depends on you, basically. It depends on every single person. You can unleash your energy into some good things. You can be productive, you can be creative, but basically it depends on you, it depends on everyone. I mean, very often you hold on to your job, even if you don't like it, because of certain reasons. And sometimes after years you realize that it was wrong, but then probably years have passed, you learn this experience, and then of course it depends on your mind, on the setup of your mind. For me, this has never been a big question, because I'm coming from an artistic family, and I grew up in theaters, in opera, and I started to dream and to, you know, to think about unreal things and to make some fantasies already when I was a small kid, I told you. So to me, it has never been an issue to think out of the box, to take some risks, to try new things out, and to cut when or where we need to cut and stop something and turn away and say goodbye and start something new. And it's never been an issue. And this is what afterwards you realize that this is basically what has given you a new energy, a new sense, a new experience, and this is what is making you happy. I myself have started 3 or 4 times different businesses. In 2 of them I failed because I didn't have the experience, because I did not believe in this idea. So, but everything is experience, it adds up, and it's not only about skills, it's not only about knowledge, not only about habits, it's, you know, it's about many things together. And it's important to make a healthy cocktail out of all of these ingredients, you know. And again, nothing is perfect, nobody is perfect, but this is why the world is so beautiful, and this is why life is so interesting, because nothing is perfect. And some people love to work 9 to 5, some people don't. Some people want to go in the mountains or on the beach, some people not. And some people do mistakes. Everybody does mistakes. And this is the good thing, that you learn from your mistakes.
If we learn from them, then.
And this is why I'm open to colleagues that sometimes do make mistakes. But here is very important to be loyal to the company. Here is very important to be trustworthy, to know that this person, this colleague of yours, is really trying his best. Everybody has his bad days, but you know, you have always to see the big picture, and you know, to get all this puzzle done, and you have to have empathy as well. Also a nice word, the corporate word, empathy. It's not a corporate, it's becoming more and more companies are using it, and people 20-30 years ago probably didn't think about it, they just had it. It was embedded.
Well, they
in some
had it
corporate
or not,
cultures.
in some.
Yes, and this is something you cannot learn.
It's it totally reminds me of an amazing academic that I met in Singapore. Actually, like someone I would hope to have on the podcast one day. He's researching trust in corporations, and he's been teaching it for over 20 years. And it is so, like, the thing that I got from him was, from his experience, that it's you go to the level that you open to. He said that with some corporations they would just like call him in because it's prestigious, or I don't know, it's like a must to show it to someone that they did like this sort of training on trust. But he said that for him, the people learned as much as they opened, you know, like if the company didn't like just wanted to be fashionable, then nothing was changed, nothing was, and this is how I also hear your words about all these components. Like, it's not just about the knowledge, it's not just about the ideas, it's also, you know, just what emanates from within, and how all of this, the cocktail, how this connects and binds.
You know, there are companies and companies, and in some companies you have great leadership. In some companies you have weak leadership. In some companies you have silos. And in some companies, let's say, you have really colleagues that do care about the company and the values and the mission, and they're really doing their best, but then you have a bad leader, a weak leader. It's really a very colorful world out there. By the way, I started to write a book. I have not a name yet.
Really?
I think.
Okay, this is new. This is fantastic. So, first announcement.
Yes, this is the first time. I don't have a name yet about the book, but this is going to reflect my experience, my working experience, my professional experience, 20 plus years. And there are going to be interviews with some colleagues of mine, and I think I will need some time to finish the book. I'm just at the beginning, and I would like, you know, to put my experience and my thoughts, and to, you know, to help not only companies but also employees, young people, students, you know, to learn from things that I have experienced, from mistakes that I have done, from good ideas and successes that I have made, how I have achieved them, and what it took me to achieve them. So it's going to take a while to finish this book. It needs some time, but I have started. I think I have already like 50 pages or something. So I have to think about the name, of course. So maybe after a couple of years I will be ready. And I think, and I hope when it's ready, it's going to be like, you know, something close to a firework, you know, when it comes out. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, this is now when you say a book, it's just like a perfect way for your essence to reach people, because it's like you've manifested so much over the 20 years plus of your experience, and it's we talk a lot about the principles, you know, like not about the specific project 1, specific project 2 or so, but like what I hear from you today and is the essence of the compound knowledge of all these situations, all this, the wisdom of it. And I'm looking forward to this book because it can be so enriching to...
The magic word, do you know the magic word? The magic word is passion. And it doesn't matter if you're cooking, doesn't matter if you're doing your job without passion. If this is a professional or private life, passion. This is the essence. This is what is giving you basically, you know, this is the salt. The passion. If you're not passionate, then I think things are changing. And sometimes you need just one small step to be successful. Sometimes it's a long road, a long journey.
A long crawl
to be
get
successful.
to
You have to be patient.
Yeah.
And it depends. It's different for everyone. But if you're passionate, if you know what you want and what you want to be in a few years or 20 years, if you have a goal, and that's why I don't mind challenges, ability, new ideas. I like them. I love them. And again, competitiveness. This is what drives me forward. This is what motivates me.
But at the same time, I also love that you mentioned you actually called it life-work balance. Most people slip to say work-life balance, but this is also what I see how, as our bodies, they have muscles to flex. Well, all muscles contract, so we have muscles to extend the bone structure, to flex it, etc. And they're antagonists. So, in some way, you have I want in being competitive and being goal-oriented as you feel it, and at the same time, wellness time with family, kind of to get the movement refined, to not be overshooting just in the. Because passion is a beautiful thing, a beautiful approach, and a lot of people resonate with this word. But also, we have on the far side of the spectrum, we've got the consequences of passion, the consequences of just very strong goal orientedness. It can be detrimental to health. But so maybe a last question that I know that you're a person who really takes care of themselves, of their health. Can you maybe say how that came to be, or how do you take care of your well-being?
Well, again, this probably started unconsciously some years ago when I experienced, I had this terrible experience in the hospital where I had to fight back again into the normal life. And I think ever since then I'm quite cautious about what's good and what's not so good for your health. So it's easy to say you're doing sports, you're eating healthy, you're living a healthy life. I'm not doing it all the time. Of course, the base is everything. You have to have a solid base, and if you have a solid base, you can then start to build up. And once you know that life is important, health is important, and that if you have a healthy balance and a healthy mix and a healthy life-work balance, then you start to do things that you like. Like, for instance, I like to swim, I really like to to ski. I'm not a snowboarder, a skier. I like to be physically active. And I like and I try to be as much as possible out in the nature. And this has become over the years like a habit to me. So I'm just not thinking about this anymore, I'm just doing it. And then of course I have my days where I do just nothing and where I can go out and get some snack which is not healthy, for instance. I do it. I like it. I do it.
Not to be too
so yes, I'm not a person which goes from here to there or just stays in one. No, I'm trying, to balance everything, and this is helping me mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, if you want. I mean, everything is connected. So, I would say I'm doing what I like. And sometimes if I like to do something which is not very healthy, I'm doing it, but I know my limits, I know where the borders are. So I think this is the beauty again of life, that you can experience as much as you want, but you have to know again limits and borders, and to balance.
They're connected to respect to yourself.
Yes, it's self-reflection, it's cautiousness, and it's also sometimes also I love reading books. Again, I started when I was a little kid, and I like quotes. I like reading biographies because I like to see the different lives, the different careers, the different aspects.
Yeah.
And there's so many examples of people who succeeded, people also who did not succeed, although they had all the chances. And it's sometimes because they didn't have the right mix, the right balance, small things that at one point pushed their success or made them go somewhere.
Yeah, we're here to explore, and I'm very grateful that you shared about your passion, about your understanding of life. Thank you so much, Plamen.
Thank you. It was a great pleasure for me, and I wish you great success.
Thank you.